In life, with every successful person or organization, there's someone behind the facade. His name unknown, his contributions minimized. Behind Franklin D. Roosevelt was his strong and influential wife, Eleanor. Behind Walt Disney was his best friend and animator of many of the Disney Corporation's films, U.B. Iwerks. Behind George Washington was Baron von Steuben, who wrote the drill manual and was responsible for the training of the Continental Army. And behind the scenes of the Juniata Athletics program, overshadowed by the 1,000-point scorers, 1,000-yard rushers, and 1,000-win coaches, there is a man who has washed hundreds of thousands of uniforms and sweaty towels. Unless you work with the man every day, you probably don't even know his name or his value to Juniata's teams. This man is Tony Nabozny, the unsung hero of Eagle Athletics, and quite possibly the hardest working, most valuable man on the illustrious campus of Juniata College.
I came to Juniata in '76 as a custodian, and I've always been associated.
Responsibilities as the equipment manager?
Well, with anything that has to do with Juniata athletic equipment, ordering, laundering. I always said when I retire, I'll never want to fold another towel in my life. For years, but I was invited to the Cincinnati Reds camp. I was a pitcher, and of course I pitched anytime I got a chance to pitch. I pitched, and I was in like 3 leagues. Probably the worst thing I ever did was pitch too much. I mean, when they handed me the ball on a Monday, I was ready to pitch on Wednesday. But I thought the more opportunity I got to pitch, it was going to get me seen. So the Reds finally did invite me to camp, and they just said I didn't have a major league curve, and it was true. I didn't. I didn't. And then I got some arm problems, and I did try out for the Pirates, but that didn't turn out either.
So what's your daily routine?
Well, usually I get here about 7 a.m. Fall is there again, which with so many varsity sports, it's usually 7 to 7, and a lot of laundry. Usually by the time I start laundry in the morning, it's not done till probably 4 o'clock, and that's usually when teams are starting to practice. So routines now I'm actually working on fall things, getting them put away, ordering for next year already. Things like that.
Organizing the equipment and the area with everything. How do you organize? What is your system of organization?
Everything's with numbers. I've talked to alumni that come back 20 years later, and they say, "I'll remember your number." So names are not always the thing. It's like here we have basketball, and all of their varsity number or their game number is shown on top, and it's the same with football. I have maybe 100 players, and when they come to get their laundry, they usually don't have to say or tell me their number, because after the first week, it's kind of like, it's not so much I remember it as I memorize it, I guess, but I'll have a guy he might be 43, and he changes his number to 59, I'll still reach up here. For some reason, it's like, I don't know what they call that type of memory.
Tony is awesome. Our clothes are always done on time. Even when we have away games really early in the morning, they're done the night before. I don't know what I would do without him. In reality, he's the heart and soul of this athletics program.
Oh, jeez, there's so many things. I love my job. I know I knew I'd never be a millionaire, but it's one of those things where you can go to work in the morning and I just love to come to work. Of course, I love to go home too at the end of the day, but I don't know. I like working with all the students, and we have a lot of general population that we deal with also. And it's hard to pinpoint. I think new equipment when it comes in, it's like Christmas. I get to open the boxes all the time. So that's probably the neatest thing. And nowadays, with equipment being so high tech and great stuff, I'd love to see what's going to happen in the next 20 years.
Okay.
Tony works really long hours. Not many people know that he comes in at 6 o'clock in the morning to have, especially with the football team, to have their stuff ready for practice. And the volleyball team practices right after class, like 3:30. So he needs to have their knee pads, their spandex back in the gym, especially when they travel. If they're away until Sunday and their uniforms come back in dirty on Sunday night, they're clean if they have a match on Monday night.
Do you enjoy following the teams?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you
yeah.
follow all the teams?
I pretty much follow all the teams. If I don't go to their event, I will catch them on the internet. As far as what they did the night before, it's pretty neat to at least have you feel like part of the team. And honestly, I have a lot of pride in the way they look. If I go to a game and say, the way that looks, I don't like that. I'll try to make sure that's on my list to make some changes. But no, it's males as well as female sports. Other than I go watch hockey and I still can't figure out the game. So
Yeah.
there's so many whistles, but no, I do try to follow all of them.
Do you have a favorite team you're partial to?
Oh boy, you put me on the spot there. I don't. I guess there's a little bit of. Every sport that I like. It's tough to say. I mean, I work with football players pretty much more hand in hand. I mean, they see me daily, so you get to you establish a relationship with them for a long time. You're like through the middle of August through November, you're seeing these guys every day. So I can't say that's probably why I enjoy that. It's tough to get that one-on-one relationship with all the other athletes because there's just so many athletes and the way we do things. But I guess I could probably say that I enjoy working with them because it's such a volume of equipment too, and I get to order that stuff. So it's pretty neat to work with that sport.
I love Tony. He's a hard worker.
Dude, like every time we come back from practice, he always get our stuff back to us quickly. Anytime I needed something, needed my helmet fixed or needed a new mouthpiece or anything like that, he was always there for me. So, gotta say, Tony's a good guy. Glad to have him around.
Football rules.
Do people ever come up and thank you for like all of your hard work and dedication?
Oh yeah. I do get that, and that really makes me feel good. Because as long as things are running smooth, nobody really notices anything. But if I forget that there's an event or something, then that's usually you're on the spot. But no, I've had students that notice things, and they say, "How do you get that laundry done so fast?" So that means that things are running well, and they appreciate it.
And what would you say is the most rewarding part of your job?
I think when a lot of times, back in like I said, I've been here 30 years, we were really tight budget. Boy, I tell you, we used socks over and everything. So now it's pretty neat to be able to give somebody something. I get a thrill out of it. I mean, I actually, got a couple emails here last week, and from football players that graduated back in the 80s. And I said, give me your address, I'll send you something. And I love to do that. And most of the coaches, they know that. I think it's always great advertising for junior. And if we can't handle giving a $5 shirt to somebody, but it's a big thrill because usually the person really appreciates it. So that's what I try to do, give hats, and that's probably a big thrill. I really I'll do that on the sideline. If I see a youngster running around and it looks like he might need something to play with, I'll give him an old football because you can only use football so long anyway. So,
Right.
so that's probably one of my biggest. I feel good about that as long as I can, as long as I get support from the athletic director and that things are running the way they should. I think I think that's credit enough. I mean, I feel like if the coaches aren't ringing my phone every day and say, "Hey, why isn't this done?" then I know that I'm doing my job, and I enjoy it. I really do. It's one of those jobs that I'm not standing at a factory 8 hours a day in front of a machine. And I don't know if I could do that. So other than that, that's it's pretty neat job.
While the athletes and coaches receive the admiration of fans from the playing field, Tony Nabozny does his work in the basement beneath their feet. A walk through his domain proves to be unspectacular. The equipment room contains no windows, and space is dimly lit just enough to maneuver the narrow aisles. Despite his banishment to the dungeons of the gym, his contributions are worthy of the spotlight. His accomplishments may not make the front page, but his hard work, dedication, and loyalty to Juniata College are worthy of great recognition.